We are going live.
Okay, so are we officially live?
We are officially live. You should see it says YouTube in the
I
corner.
do. Okay, I see it. I see it. Thank you so much for streaming this, Zai. Welcome everybody. I just want to give us a brief introduction. My name is Shani Rico. I'm also known as the Forex Goddess. I have with me Kristen and Zai. They are amazing, amazing women. And what this is today is our Y circle. As women, I feel like we need a space where we can come together, uplift, um, support, and just work together. We're all entrepreneurs and we're all mothers. And we just find that this space is just really, really important because it's also about a higher purpose. And it's also about, like, we talk about a ton of things. So, anyhow, without further ado, I want to introduce the wonderful ladies that I have here with me. It's Kristen down at the bottom, or at least she's at the bottom of my screen. And then there's Zai with the butterfly there. Ladies, either one of you, do you mind introducing yourself and talking about what the Y circle is to you?
Sure, I'll go ahead. So thank you, Shani. We'd actually been talking about this Y circle for a while since April of earlier this year. And it started out as Shani's idea, really, just to have a place where we could all share our story, of our background, our struggles, the things that motivate and drive us. And we felt like it was important collectively to come together and encourage others to do the same thing because there's value in what all of us can share. And sometimes speaking out can be intimidating about our background, some of the hardships we've been through, when ultimately there is somebody out there, women, who can take what we say and it can resonate with them and actually help them and assist them. I know I've learned a lot from Shani and from Zai both. And so it's important for me to be here and just share anything of value that I can give other women out there. I think that's important. And Zai, go ahead. I hand it to you.
Hi, my name is Zakisha, and man, this is a phenomenal space to be in, and I encourage, women all over the world to start building up spaces like this where we can come together from different backgrounds with just different lifestyles. And the Y Circle has been a place for me as becoming an entrepreneur, building up that confidence, having women say, "Hey, I'm there too," or "I've been there." A place where my faith is really important to me and my belief in Christ Jesus, and I haven't nobody condemn, but just like, hey, even if they're from different religions, no one speaking bad about each other, but just being this in this space of of giving insight. I've learned so much from not only these two beautiful women, but other women who are part of our Y circle, learning whether you're a newbie like me or somebody who's been for a long time. So this is important. I thank you, Shani, for God placing this vision and gift in you and you taking and running with it. And I yield.
I want to thank both of you ladies for participating in the Y Circle because without you, there would be no circle. So I appreciate you. I appreciate both of you for showing up and for always contributing so much value to this space. I've learned so much from both of you in the time that we've been connected, and I look forward to learning more, connecting more, and things like that going forward. So, um, we got a chance to introduce ourselves. Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you become an entrepreneur, and what brought you to the point where you are right now? Just something brief. It doesn't have to be too much. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Um, so I never thought of myself as an entrepreneur ever because I had a government job for 18 years. And that was my life. I started when I was very young. And it just came to the point where God shifted me from that point to another point in my life. And he really blessed me when he did that because I didn't know many entrepreneurs in my circle at that time. I was more around people in the corporate world and people who had, your 9 to 5 jobs, but I wasn't really involved with a lot of entrepreneurship. And it just so happened that God put at the right place at the right time, not only this group, but my team that we work together with entrepreneurial ideas. And that really helped shift my mindset from the fixed corporate world into expanding my abilities and my confidence to make money for myself, and look for opportunities to expand on my own God-given talents, things that I've been wanting to implement in my life to make money for a while. But I was always too scared and I didn't have any direction or guidance. So becoming an entrepreneur was really important to me because I do have a lot of passion as an artist and as a musician. I do trading, I do crypto, and I'm expanding on a whole other slew of things as well. But it's important that that shift from the corporate world for so long into now being my own boss and making my own hours and being accountable for my habits and this personal development and everything that goes along with entrepreneurship. Um, Man, like that's something I've only been doing it for about 2 years, 3 years, and I'm still working on it. I think it's just a lifelong commitment to become the best version of yourself, to add value to those that you meet, and expand your network and just really share with people that they can do it too, that they can be self-sufficient. And even if you choose a corporate job, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that entrepreneurship has really opened my eyes to just growing as a person and just growing into my full potential. And that's really been important, to me. So go ahead, Zai.
So, I never thought of myself in the term as entrepreneur, even though God had placed different ideas and gifts inside of me. The hardest thing and it's for was for me was how do I move on this, especially when I do work a full-time job. I myself am a I had stage 4 colon cancer 3 times. I was on life support at one point. Also went through a divorce in the middle of all that with 2 small kids. And a lot of things that people don't talk about is are the bills accumulated with huge illnesses, especially when you do not have the mindset or the strength to work on said bills while taking care of yourself in life, especially when you're going through a major life event. Cancer is one, but divorce is another major life event and traumatic as well. So I remember speaking to my beautiful friend Kristen one day because I was trying to learn how to trade. God had placed this in me years before, but I never moved on it. And when I tried to move on it, I was not getting it. I'm not gonna lie, I was not getting it. And so, she spoke to me about it. She was like, "Hey, I'm part of this group of phenomenal people who are entrepreneurs who have a different mindset, and I would love for you to be a part of this." And she spoke to me when I was in deep depression. And, one of the things that comes with entrepreneurship for anything is your mindset. Where are you mentally and where are you going? And to see the growth, of just being surrounded by beautiful people who are, some people have already, let's just say, made it, but to have that grace for people who have not is huge. So, it's still hard to say like, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, right? And making money or learning, and because money is going to come with the education. Education was one of the biggest things that I learned that we had to have from here, but it was, I don't want my life to be just going to work, coming home, or taking hours away from my kids. And cancer really made me realize how precious time and life is, that every second literally counts. And I didn't want to be with it in depression or just working and being away from my beautiful babies, or for me myself missing out on life. And so thank you for that question, Shani. I yield.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. Those are some beautiful, beautiful reasons why you're here.
Can
Just for
I
myself,
just interject for a moment? I've
absolutely.
known Zai for a really long time, and she is got to be one of the strongest people I know. She's really got to be one of the strongest people I know. I can't imagine going through what you've been through, Zai. medically, and then on top of that, with life just still lifing, and throwing curveballs at you. And you still have, that just beautiful spirit of strength and humility and God fearing. And it's just it's such an encouragement because I know that somewhere out there someone's going through the same thing. So I just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on that actually. We've known each other for about a year maybe now. I'm not sure, maybe a little bit less, but I would say definitely Zai has an amazing, amazing spirit. And when she began telling me her story, I just got chills. It was just so, so powerful how to have gone through all that, God has brought you through, and you do it with a smile and with a good heart. That is rare. It's very rare. And so I want to commend you for that as well. That just speaks to who you are. And I'm grateful that, I have an opportunity to experience that. Thank you.
Thank y'all, beautiful women. Like, it would not, we've all gone through stuff, and I never put myself at high level. Like, I've gone through more stuff than you, right? But to be around beautiful people like you guys who are like, you can do this, and also to get that push from you guys, but to be there as a friend when I can be, and I'm telling you, this just shows like when God puts, he says, when God puts together, let no man take asunder. And it's not only like actual relationships, marriages, but even like friendships and things like that. Like, this is a different type of family, and I love you guys for this, and thank you again, Shani, for God placing this vision in you. You running with it, and thank you, Kristen, for just being that sister that I need. It's something about having people. And let me just say one thing, like, when my grandmother first started going through, I was on the phone with Shani. Literally, we were talking about crypto. We were talking about a portfolio, and Shani was like, "Zai, I don't know how to help you." She heard the report herself from my mom, and she said, "I don't know how to help you, Zai. I don't know how to pray." But then Shani goes to praying, and it was her strength that I was praying for me that I was able to open my mouth because I could not speak. I was literally speechless. So this just shows like when a sisterhood is created from God, from Christ, is not just business, 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 business. And I don't want to talk to you business not about business, but encouraging each other in life. That's what this is, and encouraging women out there to see this because we're told that women don't get along, women are catty, women don't like each other, women are jealous. But to see like if my sis over here win and say, man, I got a good hit from trading, I'm not like, oh, I ain't get nothing yet. No, so I appreciate just the celebrating each other in this. Thank you.
I think, this reminds me of that Bible verse too. And I know Zai, you'll probably know which one, I don't know which reference it is. You guys can help me out with this. But it talks about how two is always better than one. If one falls down, one can be picked up. If one can be warm, the two can warm each other better than one. And then it ends with a cord of three braid or a braid of three cords is less easily broken. And I feel like what you were saying, women can support women. We don't have to compete. It's not a competition. It's about encouraging each other and helping each other out, And I feel really blessed. I feel really blessed by that. But that verse came to mind when you were talking, Zai.
I
Yes, it does say that.
I can concur. I feel very blessed here too. Just having the sisterhood and the good energy and the good vibes, and just knowing that we're all on our own path and our own journeys, and we're here to like lock arms and move forward. Sometimes we might go side to side or however it goes, but we're always going together, and we always have our leader, which is Christ. That's always guiding us forward. And yeah, it's good to share that with people like you guys. So, um, thank you for that. Just a little bit about myself. and what brought me here. I was working for college around the time of the pandemic, and then I was illegally fired and let go of. And that was a real wake up call for me. I've been working since I was 15 years old, and I'd never been fired. I've never been fired from a job. And then to have it happen and it was illegal, it just kind of put an extra to the whole situation. So it really just kind of made me wake up and start taking entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur more seriously. I've never been in an environment with entrepreneurs. I didn't grow up from that background. My mother retired with AT&T. All my family members, gone to school, worked the corporate jobs, things like that. So it was like a new kind of sexy idea. But and when I got in, I would say like I didn't really take it as seriously as I feel like I take it today, because the freedom in it comes with a ton of discipline and responsibilities. And that is something that I really need most to grow as a person, to really see myself to my fullest potential. So I love the challenge of being an entrepreneur because the time management, the discipline, creating systems, and all those things that are required are things that I know that I need just to be a better person in general, even if I weren't trying to be an entrepreneur. But the good thing is, in doing this, I am discovering myself. I'm discovering my higher self. And now it's not even so much about the money, it's about, can I be consistent? Can I learn how to create systems? Can I serve at a greater capacity than just myself and my own needs or interests? Can I be of service to others? And that is generally what my why is right now. I want to also create something that outlives me, like a body of work that outlives me, that speaks to like what I was here for. I want to help impact and help people. So that is pretty much why we're here. So, ladies, let's talk. What has been going on in your lives this week? Any wins, challenges, any things that you guys want to kind of share with the audience, with the people?
I'll tell you all, like 3 weeks ago, I was at the gym and I actually went with my son and we were goofing off on the rowing machine and we were like racing each other and stuff, just really, I wasn't acting like the mature adult I should. And I ended up doing something to my back and it hurt for like the past 2 weeks and I was getting a little bit better. I think it was like a muscle strain or something. When I woke up today, I could not get out of bed. Like I literally like I was stretching. It's Sunday morning. Like I was laying in there, like stretching in bed, and I did something. Like I think I reactivated that muscle strain, and I could not walk. I had such a hard time getting out of bed. I was in so much pain. Um, and it really put a wrench in my plans because I've been going to the gym every day and I was going to go to church this morning. And I ended up having to just stop everything. And that's hard for me. That's hard for me. I'm a high achiever and I want to do everything at once, and but I was able to stream my church service and read a little bit of the word, and that helped me. I've been going through some family issues um, that haven't been a lot of fun, but today, and I just hate being immobilized like that because you can wake up and make a plan and then something can happen to detour you, and then how your attitude is for the rest of the day. That's something that I've kind of struggled with in the past, but I realized today it's gotten better. So I'm grateful that now I feel much better. It's evening time here where I am, so I had all day to recover and relax, and I feel much better. So hopefully Monday, tomorrow, I'll be back, doing all the things I need to take care of. But other than that, like I've had a pretty good week. How about
That's
you?
awesome. So for me, I was in Mexico. As you know, I was at the company convention, and the conventions are always a different animal because you get to meet your friends that you've made from all over the world, and create memories and things like that. Especially you get to also enjoy being in another country or another area that you're not from. So that's always a wonderful thing. I love traveling. As you can hear, my voice is still a little hoarse from all the involvement that I had there. So that's been my week. And then also, you know what I will say? I will say that after reading that book I read What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And now I'm reading, what is that? The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. And I must say now, this is how much I could say that I've grown. Personally, I was raised as a Christian. That is the religion that I was raised in. But as an adult, I then converted. I chose Buddhism. I have practiced Nichiren Buddhism, and saying all that to say, the first time I tried to read Dr. Norman Vincent Peale's book, I don't know what it was within me, but I wasn't able to read it because I'm like, I was he making too many it's just whatever, right? Long story short, today I've grown to the point where I am able to appreciate everyone's opinions, values, or whatnot, and maybe not necessarily allow what I'm hearing to make me feel I don't know, you know what I mean? It just doesn't I can appreciate what another person's beliefs and still get value from it and still get something out of it for myself. And I think even if it's not exactly the same or aligned, I can still get value from that. And I think that that's a win for me for sure. Because the first time I had this book, like literally there's a date on there from 2020. And I tried reading the book before and I couldn't. And I'm just grateful that I'm more open and I'm growing in that way. So that's a win for the week for me.
That's
Die.
awesome. That's awesome. My one of my spiritual leaders always says that you eat the meat and spit out the bones. So there's always some sort of value somewhere. And you can definitely learn from other people. So
And
awesome.
I'm sorry, just to piggyback on that. Value, I mean, being able to um get value from everywhere, that is something like I am grateful that I'm growing to the point where I can get value from other places. You know how sometimes we have biases where we'll listen or we'll look at somebody and think, oh, they look like this, they're, dressed like that, and kind of dismiss what they're saying based on what our perceived idea of truth comes from.
Or biases.
Yeah. And so having that ability to now like still look past those things, I can definitely say is a big, huge thing for myself. I'm grateful for that. Because I think, like you said, everyone and everything is some value, even if it's just showing you what you don't want to be like or what you don't want to do. It's still
Facts. I
value.
think that too. Like even if there's somebody that I completely disagree with on something, I don't have to walk away from a conversation angry or judgmental. I can say, you know what? I as a human being love this human being. I'm going to continue to be from a position of grace and forgiveness and all that stuff. And that I think that's valuable just, to yourself as well.
Absolutely.
Well, what happened this week that was exciting is I can say just one being a place of reflection. I recently lost my grandmother, who is my girl, and she is phenomenal. She is beautiful, and she is and I keep saying she is because it's so hard to believe that she's gone. But my grandmother's been in my life since I was born, and we have a special relationship. So I can say just a time of reflection. Instead of looking at sad videos and stuff, I'm looking at her just fussing me out, threatening me, like I'm gonna knock you down, Keisha. But also it makes you think about family, about life. Um, I was able to take off around this time, and it really helps you just kind of like slow things down. Also, picking back up what God has called me to, being able to just sit in quietness. When we say quiet, the noise around us in our hearts and minds is not sometimes the chaos around you. It's always within you. It's always just, here. Because you could have quiet going around you, and you still have noise here. You're still thinking about a million things here. Like, you're having arguments in your head. You're having reflections in your head. You're having, negative thoughts can be there, but the Bible says to think on these things that's a pure, that's true, that's praiseworthy, things that's of a good rapport. It tells you when you meditate on these things, then the God of peace will be with you. And that is so true. And it's so hard to go to a place of being positive when negative is around you. But in order to hear God, hear ourselves, hear where we're supposed to be going, we need to quiet here and here. We can have 1,000 self-help books, 1,000,000 inspirational videos, and still be a complete mess. Like, some of us don't need more information. We just need to use the information that we already have. And so, yeah, it's been a week of reflection.
I like that. That reminds me of Jim Rohn and Earl Nightingale, and they say you are what you think, and that your mind is like a garden, and you have to be the farmer. You have to be the tender of your garden. You have to tend to the good, pull out the weeds, and constantly be a gatekeeper of what you allow into your mind. What are you allowing yourself to reflect on? And like you were saying, Shawnee, that book, what is it? What do
What to
you
say when you
say when
talk to
you,
yourself.
yeah, when you talk to yourself? I loved that book specifically for that reason because it did make me more aware of my self-talk. And yeah, definitely, like I think a lot of women can relate to this, that as we're, when you go from a child to an adult, youth, all that, you have so many voices telling you what you are and what you're not. And you have to decide, at some point, is that really what you are? Is that really what you're not? Like, how much control do you have in your life? Um, what are you choosing in your life to decide who you are, and that's what I like about God's word too, is it warns us about what we meditate on, tells us to meditate on the good things.
Absolutely. Well, hey, ladies, I want to say that I thank you so much for this meeting. This is our very first one. We're definitely going to be coming back again. We're going to be coming up with some different topics, just putting out what we got going on. And yeah, I appreciate you all. And I thank you. And I just want to say, hey, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for sharing your stories. And I look forward to it next time. Till then, ladies, take care.